Hi everybody, it's Rose Coleman popping in. It is Sunday. I'm joining you live today from my stamp room with my weekly video. I have a really fun card to share with you today. It's featuring one of my favorite color combinations, and anyway, I'll show you when I flip the camera. But I also have some tips to share with you today too on embossing and how to make your own shiny paper. I'm going to re-ink my Versamark pad. Hi Heidi. Hi Colleen. Hi Lena. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so let's get started. The last chance list, hi Catherine. The last chance list came out. So what that means is Stampin'Up is retiring the catalog, okay? So the annual catalog is going to be retiring in June. So we have like the rest of May to get what you want from this catalog before the products retire. And you can go onto the Stampin'Up website. The best way to see the items is to go onto the Stampin'Up website and click on the left-hand side. There's a drop-down menu. There's a little sidebar menu. It says Last Chance Items. And that is always up to date. You can go in there. You can place an order. Select me as your demonstrator, and I will send you a gift in the mail for your order. So that's how you get the best way. I can send you the PDF, but honestly, you'd need a magnifying glass to read it. So the best way to go see what's leaving the catalog is to go look onto the website under the last chance deals. And I just went online 5 minutes before I started this video and made sure the things I'm going to be showing you, which ones are leaving, which ones are already gone, and which ones you can get. So I'm happy to say everything that I'm going to show you today is available. But I'm going to point out some things that are low inventory, so you want to definitely stock up. I'm going to be stocking up this weekend. I'm placing an order first thing on Monday morning, probably going to, tomorrow morning. Yes, tomorrow's Monday. I'm going to be ordering some things that are getting low. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Christine. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so let's flip the camera and get started with the card I have to share with you today. Okay, here we go. Okay, so just bear with me while I straighten this up. I'm just going to put my little name up here, so if anybody's joining and they're like wondering who's on screen, you can see my name here at the top. Okay, so we're going to play with a stamp set that is retiring called Capture the Good. Now, I was sad to see this on the retired list because I really haven't had a chance to play with mine. And this is a great stamp set for both card makers, scrapbookers. I'm definitely keeping mine because I love to take pictures, and this has a camera with it. So this is one I'm definitely going to be holding on to. So you want to nab this. Now Stampin' Up! Has said that if you purchase stamps, you will be guaranteed to get them by May 22nd, okay? So they manufacture their own stamps in their warehouse in Kanab, Utah, so they can actually make stamps to order. So if it goes on back order, no problem, you'll still get your stamp set. So if you fall in love with this stamp set, you definitely want to place your order soon to get yours. Hi Deanne, thanks for joining. Okay, so let's get started with my card using this stamp set. I've got some other products I want to show you as well that are retiring, and I'm going to point those out. So the first thing before I get started, I want to share with you, this is a Versamark ink pad. Now, if you're not familiar with Versamark, this is an ink pad that has no color. It's just a sticky ink. So when you get it, it just looks like this. It's just this white ink pad, but it's very sticky. So you'll need to use this when you're embossing. And also to do watermark, which is tone-on-tone inking, which I've done several times on the videos. But I want to show you how to re-ink it. So if your Versamark pad seems like it's drying out a little bit, thanks so much for sharing, Colleen. Thanks for joining me. If you think your ink pad is drying out, you just buy a re-inker. You don't need to buy a new ink pad. And I'm going to show you how I re-ink my pads. So I've got my little re-inker here, and I think maybe that's a little too close. Okay, so I've got my re-inker, and I'm just going to take it, and you'll see when I squeeze the bottle, it actually comes out really thick. I'm going to hold this up close so you can see. Like it's almost comes out like a glue, and that's exactly the consistency of it because you want it to be sticky, right? Yes, like sticky wax, exactly. So you're going to take this and you're going to I just do like diagonal lines over my ink pad like this. And you don't want to make it like too juicy, but you do want to make it sticky enough so that it's going to do the job, right? So we're just going to put some ink on here. it's not actually ink, it's it's a Versamark ink. So it's a clear, sticky ink which has a purpose to hold that embossing powder on. Now, I wouldn't leave my ink pad like that. I'm going to take the tip of the reinker and I'm just going to kind of mix it in. I'm just going to, it's really almost like a, I don't know if you could tell if I hold it on the side, it's like a foam. It is a foam ink pad. So I'm just going to use my little tip of my reinker and just mix this in as evenly as I can, and it will distribute itself down into the foam, okay? So there's my Versamark pad, all nice and juicy, ready to go. And a reinker will last you for a very long time. I probably only go through maybe one every couple of years. Like, seriously, that's how long it lasts me. So if you're finding your ink pad is not quite holding the powder, it's not sticky enough, that's how you re-ink your pad. So today what we're going to do, like I mentioned, we're going to play with the Capture the Good stamp set. Okay, so I was super sad, as you guys, if you watch me do the tour of the things that are retiring, I was really sad about some of the things like the scrapbook album and stuff that are retiring, but that's okay. I've already stocked up. I've got my albums coming. I'm happy about that. Another thing that I was sad about is the black shimmer embossing powder. Can you see the shimmer right through the crock? Like, this shimmer embossing powder is leaving us. It's retiring, as well as the black, the plain black. Now, I went online before I went live today, and the black is already sold out, but you guys, this black shimmer is still available. At the time before I went live, it was available, okay? So this is, I'm pretty sure this is going to sell out, and I only have half of a crock left, so I will definitely be stocking up on this black shimmer embossing powder. Hi, Helena. Hi, Jen. So I'm going to be using this today. The other thing that I was sad to see leaving us is glimmer paper and black foil paper. So we've got all our other foils staying with us, but black foil is leaving. Okay, so I'm going to show you a tip today to make your own shiny paper that will work with just about anything. So let's get started. I'm going to stamp this camera and I'm going to emboss it with the black shimmer embossing powder. Okay, so I've got the camera from the stamp set all ready to go. And when I have a big stamp like this, I like to lay it down on my surface and I'm going to ink it from the top. Just makes it easier versus trying to take the stamp and just making sure it's inked. I can just get better coverage by laying the stamp down and inking it from the top. Okay, so here we go. I'm just sitting down, so if I miss any of your comments, I will come back to you, I promise. So I'm inking that up. I've just got some scrap white here, and I'm going to stamp that onto some scrap white. Just pressing down firmly. There we go. And I find a really good way to transfer this embossing powder back into the little container is to just use some regular paper. So I've got black written up at the top, I've creased it in the middle, and I'm going to go ahead and open my embossing powder. You can see that shimmer. And I'm just going to pour that right on top of the camera. And you can actually dump the whole bottle if you wanted to, because we're going to I'm just going to shake this around a little bit and make sure my camera is covered. And tap it off. There, now I've got my embossing powder on the camera and it just looks so sharp. It's not even heated up yet, and it looks really sharp. So then I'm just going to take this piece of paper with the crease and I'm going to transfer that back into my container, and then it'll be ready for the next time I use it. This way you won't lose hardly any of your powder, and embossing powder lasts a long, long time, you guys. If you transfer it back and you're careful to get most of it back in the bottle, it will last a long time. Okay, so I'm just gonna get rid of the little bit of powder on my sheet here. Shake that over my garbage can. Okay, so just bear with me while I heat this up, and I'll hold it close to the camera. You might want to turn your volume down if you don't like the sound, but I'm just gonna heat this up and show you what the shimmer does. Can see, I don't know if you can see from the glare, but let's hold it over here. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Got to turn the heat gun on to get it to melt. So I don't know if you can see that, but this is the black shimmer. Now, after you turn the heat gun off, it dries pretty much right away. So that's my camera that I'm going to be using on my card. I'm just going to quickly fussy cut that out. Unless your 2-year-old makes 12 of them and makes them all together making a potion. Yes, my 2-year-old, I think you're talking about my story there, Helena. So yes, I used to keep, while I'm cutting this out, I'm going to tell you a little story. So I used to keep my stamping supplies in the bonus room, which is on the top floor of our house, and it's where our bedrooms are, okay? So I had a little setup there with my desk and everything, and I put my daughter to bed, and I think at that time we had just put her in a big girl bed. And I went downstairs to do some laundry, and I thought she was still sleeping. But nope, I came upstairs to check on her, and she was sitting at my desk with my 2 canisters of embossing powder. And she was mixing them together. She had them poured out onto my desk, and she looked at me, and I said, my goodness. I said, what are you doing? She said, I mix, Mommy, I mix. So your daughter did this too, Helena? Oh my God. Yes, mine did that. She was telling me she was mixing. She had, I don't know what she was using, a marker or something like that, and she was just stirring it around. Yeah, so anyway, I never, of course, the embossing powders, you know, they were never the same. I had to order new canisters, but that's the joys of a 2-year-old, right? Okay, so there's my camera all cut out. There you can see the shine on with the light there a little bit. And now we're going to go on to the rest of the card. So my card base for today's card, remember I was mentioning my favorite color combos? 2 of my favorite colors, you guys, together are Melon Mambo and Basic Black. So I have the piece of Basic Black that measures 4x4, and I have Melon Mambo for my card base. Now it measures 4 1/4, so I cut it down the long side, right? So I've got 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and I'm going to bring in my Simply Score tool, and I'm going to show you how I scored this one. So the measurements for the scoring properly. So 2 3/4. 4 1/4, 7 1/4, and 8 1/2. All right, so there's my Melon Mambo with the 4 score lines. Okay, so we're done with the scoreboard. So I'll just set this aside because now I want to show you how to make that shiny paper with this Basic Black. Remember I mentioned at the beginning of my video today that I was going to show you how to make your own shiny paper. Hi, Tammy. Thanks for joining me. So I've got my Basic Black that measures 4x4. I'm going to bring in that Versamark pad, and I'm actually going to take the pad in my hand, and I'm going to dab it, and I'm going to cover it. Cover the whole piece of Basic Black with Versamark. Okay. There we go. So I've got a nice shiny piece of cardstock, and I'm going to bring back my scratch paper, and I'm going to cover this with the black shimmer embossing powder, the whole thing. I'm going to dump the whole canister again, and you can see I'm definitely ordering more because I'm running out. Hi, Liz. Hi, Lorene. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so I've got my whole piece covered. Look how pretty that is. And it's not even heated up yet, you guys. But there's my whole piece of 4x4 Basic Black covered. And I'm going to tap off the excess. And again, I'm going to transfer this back into my canister. And I can continue to make more cards. Well, at least until I run out, right? So this glimmer embossing powder is absolutely beautiful. If you don't have this, you definitely want to get it before it sells out. Okay, so let's heat this up. All right, so by the magic of camera, I'm not going to heat this one up on camera because you have already heard my heat gun today. But before I went on camera, I did do a piece of 4x4, and look how pretty it turns out. after you heat it up. So there is our, so if you're sad about the foil paper leaving us, we can make our own foil paper, you guys. You can make your own foil black, okay? So I'm going to take this a little step further, and I want to emboss this piece with a folder that's leaving us, okay? So I'm going to bring in my machine here, and I'm using the Mosaic 3D. This embossing folder is leaving us, and it is beautiful. I absolutely love it. If you don't have one of these, you want to grab one before they're sold out. Everything is while supplies last, right? So when you're going into this folder, you see the black Stampin' Up! At the top. Whatever you want to be pointing out, you want to lay down on that Stampin' Up! Logo, okay? So this is the black cardstock with no embossing. This is my embossed side. I'm putting the embossed side down onto the embossing folder piece with the black on it, the black Stampin' Up! Logo. I'm going to put that onto my platform, and I'm going to use the blue pad, and I'm going to run this through. Hi, Amy. Thank you. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. So when I open the folder, look at that black mosaic. It looks just like black foil, right? Which is retiring, so don't worry. We can still make our own black foil. Okay, so now what we're going to do is bring the rest of the card in. And this grid paper is driving me bonkers because it's dirty. Let me get a clean sheet. Anybody else like me? There's now embossing powder over my grid papers. I'm gonna bring in a clean piece. Hi, Pam. Hi, Carissa. Okay, so let's get started now with the card. All right, so this is 4x4. I've run it through the Mosaic embossing folder, or actually I did the embossing first with the Shimmer black embossing powder, and then I ran it through the folder. So let's bring our card base in. So I did all the scoring. So we're gonna fold away from myself and then back. So like this, and then away and then back. So what you want to end up with is a little zigzag shape like this with those score lines, okay? So the final measurement, when you put it all together, it'll still fit into a card, an envelope, I mean, because the final measurement of this whole package is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, okay? So I'm just going to grab a bone folder and reinforce those score lines so it'll be nice and crisp. And I've got my 4x4 piece of basic black. I also have a 4x4 piece of Whisper White and another piece of Whisper White that measures 2 1/4 by 4 inches. So those are the things you need to finish this card. And I also have my camera that I stamped and embossed. Okay, so let's finish this off. Using the Capture the Good stamp set, I want to use the Smile stamp and It's Your Day, okay? And I'm gonna bring in my favorite pink, which is Melon Mambo. I've got my Smile stamp ready to go. So let's just do some stamping and then we'll put this together. So I'm gonna stamp Smile up here in the corner, like that. And then the It's Your Day, I'm gonna stamp down here in the bottom right-hand corner. Oh, that's crooked. Let's flip it over. You get 2 chances with a piece of cardstock, right? Let's try that again. So Smile goes up here. Real life stamping, guys. And then It's Your Day. Let's see if I can get that straighter. Better, way better. Okay, that's good. All right, so let's go ahead and put that down. Actually, you know what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do some stamping with, the stamp set has this really fun little circle with a heart in it. And I'm going to use that to do some little bit of stamping. Amanda's asking for embossing powder. Yes, Amanda, I can add some of those on for you. Absolutely. Anybody else wants to place an order if you're here in Calgary and you can't have If you're anywhere across Canada, you can order online to be delivered to your door. But if you'd like to add on to my order, yes, I am placing an order first thing tomorrow morning. Okay, so I just stamped that little bit of that little image all around there a little bit. And then the last part of my Whisper White stamping is this one. I want to stamp The Focus Is All on You. You can stamp that one with Melon Mambo. And I'm not even going to put a happy birthday on this one because it can be anything, right? It could be a graduation card, can be anything, celebration card of any type, because when the focus is all on them, whoever this is that you're giving the card to, it doesn't have to say the greeting. You can leave the greeting off until you're ready to use it, right? All right, so now I'm going to stick this together. So I'm going to bring in my glue, and the Whisper White piece is going to be the front. The one with the smile is going to sit on the front flap. So let's just put, what I like to do actually is put some glue just on the flap, like that. And then I'm going to lower this down like this. Okay. Press that down good. So we have only got glue. Oh, I'm gonna have to cover that up. That's the bad part of flipping it over. You do have to worry if you're gonna see the back. I forgot that we're actually gonna see the back of that one, but no worries, we can cover it up. So this black piece that I made with the black shimmer embossing powder, I'm gonna stick that on the inside here. So that's gonna go on this square. So I'm just gonna come in here and just put some glue, and then I'm gonna bring this piece in and line that up right here. And I'm leaving about 1/8 of an inch around as a border all the way around. So when you're sticking down foil paper or anything that's been embossed, you want to give it a little bit of pressure just to make sure the glue has a chance to make contact with the paper, and then it'll stick. Okay, so that's my middle layer to this card. And then the last layer is this one back here. And we're just gonna go ahead and put some glue on. And then this is gonna be the part where you would do your writing, and you know, you could stamp another greeting if you wanted to. And that's gonna be the last flap. So it's kind of like a little zigzag. Now, let's go back to our camera. So we've got our camera that we did, and it's all cut out. I'm just gonna bring in some dimensionals here and put on the back. And you wanna use quite a few, like I'm gonna use 5 dimensionals because it's a big image, right? I don't want it to collapse. If I were to mail it, I want it to stay nice and popped up. And we're gonna go ahead and put that on the front of the card. Let's bring back the card. So I'm just gonna fold it closed, and then I'm just gonna angle it like so. There we go, that's the front. And I need something to go on this middle piece here. So in the stamp set, there's a stamp that says snap, click, say cheese, click, snap, click. I love that. So I'm just gonna stamp that on some scrap Whisper White using Memento ink. Like that. And I'm gonna pop that out using the Storybook Label Punch, okay? And it fits perfectly in this punch, like so. And then we can pop that up and put that on the black layer. What did I do with my dimensionals? Can't see the forest for the trees. And look, my dimensionals are almost gone, but that's okay because I'm gonna order some for tomorrow. But you can use the edges of your dimensionals, okay? Don't forget that. Don't throw away. I know you guys all know this, but you just take your scissors and I just do this. I just chop, chop, chop on the sides, and then I use every single inch of the dimensionals. Never ever waste your dimensionals, right? Okay, so that's gonna sit right here. So that will be inside like that. And you can actually push it in further if you want, if you don't want to see that sticking out a little bit, but I don't mind it. I mean, you can push it in right in like that, so that when it's in a closed position, it's just the black sticking out. Okay, we still got to embellish this card. It's beautiful the way it is, I think, but we need a little embellishment on there. And let me show you. In the catalog, sorry, I went over to get my embellishments. These designer elements are retiring, and I love these. Look at them. You get, I'm just going to open it up so you can see all of the different shades. See, you can get copper, silver, and gold, and they already have the adhesive on them. So when I was looking at these, I was like, oh, it looks like the button on the camera. So I'm going to use one of the silver ones for that purpose. And it'll serve as a little bit of bling for my card. So let's just grab that with my take your pick tool. And look, I'm going to put it right on the top of the button, right there. Just press that down. And there we have it. Smile, it's your day, and snap, and then the focus is all on you. So I hope you guys like that style of card, and I hope you like pink and black together, hot pink and black together, and just a little bit of bling from that Shimmer black embossing powder. Oh, I definitely want to order at least maybe a couple of these. And this stamp set, you guys, I'm so sad. They brought this one out last year, and it only stayed in the catalog for 1 year. And anyway, I'm going to keep a hold on to my, it's called Capture the Good stamp set. And you can make a ton of different cards with this. And picture this card in blues. This could be used for a guy as well, right? This could totally be a masculine card if I just changed up the color of cardstock. So, let me flip you around here, and I think I've missed a bunch of your comments because I was looking down at my card, and I see a bunch of you are ordering this powder. If you live in Calgary, I'd be happy to add on some order for you, and an order for you and get you some powder. I did check before I went live today, and it was available, so I'm hoping that it is not gone by tomorrow morning. But private message me and we can connect, and I'll let you know when your order arrives. I can do curbside pickup. You could do come by and pick it up, or I can drop it off. We'll work that out. So hi, Shelly. Never too late. You can always go back and watch the replay. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for joining me today. Aw, thanks, Amy. You're so sweet. And I hope you're having a good weekend and enjoying the weather here in Calgary, if you're in the area. And take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.